G'day, this is the story behind one of F1's most spectacular crashes. You'll be absolutely blown away by everything that went into the rescue and recovery of Zhou Guanyu at Silverstone. This is Gareth Thomas Impey. He's a marshal with the BMMC. They were the first people on the scene when Zhou Guanyu crashed at Silverstone in 2022. These were my photos from the day. Let's kick it off. This is George in his outfit.
Yep.
Are you here?
Yeah. So I'm over the back of the shot there.
This is where the car came to rest, is it, or is that?
No, that's where the car came to rest. It was difficult to see where the driver was, but eventually we could hear some movement. But we eventually saw where the driver was, and we've leant down behind the barriers, poked our heads down. He was right down on the ground. We were about 4 foot up by this stage on top of the tyres. So all we could do was shout down to him, "Driver, are you okay?" And there was a pause, and to Glenn and I's relief, he shouted back, "Yeah, I'm okay. We just looked at each other and we were like, how can he be okay after that? We were then looking for a medic. Now, normally the medic's in a black outfit. I'd turned round to see where the medic was, and we'd give a thumbs up to say, the driver's okay. So as I've turned round, I've seen this figure in a black suit. I thought, that's great, the FIA doctor's here. There was one doctor there already, and I just relayed the message that, the driver's okay, he's conscious, expecting him to go down there, and he didn't. So then I saw this black outfit, and I was like, okay, the FIA doctor. And I was looking, I was thinking, well, it's quite a fancy outfit he's got there. It's like, it's a bit there's a lot of sponsors and stuff on there. What's going on here? And it turns out it was George Russell who joined us up on the tyres. So that was a surprise to see him up there.
Okay, this is my shot from the other side.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
This is me pushing the car into the belly in the fence and hopefully trying to gain access to the driver. It worked out really well. Now you've got the rescue team coming in. You've got Dr. Ian Roberts in the centre there, who's working out what they can do to get the driver out. And you've got Liz at the front there. She had so many people she was dealing with. She's the post chief. She's taking all the notes as to what's happening. She's our link with race control. She's taking notes for a report later. Indeed, yes.
Now you've pulled him out.
Yep.
You've got him on a stretcher, and here he's being carried off, and then we get the marshals holding towels and blankets.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we always try and give the driver a bit of privacy. You never know who, if there's family watching or anything, they don't know what the situation is at the time, so we're trying to protect the driver.
And eventually they have got to try and get this thing out.
That's it, yeah. It was in such a tight spot. So we had a brilliant JCB driver with us that day, a guy called Mark. We'd been discussing how we were going to get this car out because the lifting hoop on the car is completely gone.
Because that normally sits below where this gentleman's knee is.
That's correct, yeah. The only way we thought of getting it out was by putting a strap round the rear wheel, which was we thought was the strongest point left on the car, and then round the suspension point on the nose, and round the halo device, which was still intact, amazingly.
And you've got quite a crowd of people here, all eagerly watching this going on.
Yeah, it was incredible to see such a crowd and so close. So Mark decided he was going to lift it like this because there's a weak point in the car that's designed in as a safety feature that the car will split in a big accident.
Right.
So our trouble was, if we started lifting that, is the car going to break in half? Because you don't want that to be happening in front of a big crowd like that. So Mark came up with the idea that we would try and put as much weight as possible on the rear tyres and lift it with the weight pointing down.
And thankfully it got out in one piece.
Worked perfectly, absolutely perfect, brilliant teamwork. What amazed me was there was hardly anything spoken at the time. It was just literally instinctive. We knew through our training what we needed to do. The only thing that the doctor said to us was, right, let's get him out. We then decided, right, this is what we're going to do to get him out, and it worked like clockwork.
Before the start of the race, there were 2 photographers down here, weren't there? Were they between the fence here and this fence?
No, they were behind the catch fence. So in that where you can see there's a bit of brown on the fence there. That window there, yeah. So they were taking pictures there. So they were very lucky.
We were then not allowed to take photos from that spot the year after, and maybe the year after. But 2024, I think we were allowed back there.
Yeah.
But that was a freaky thing for that car to go so far, and then at the last second catch on the gravel and then flip. These are my start photos here. Like I captured the whole thing that's my last photo.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm a long lens and then you can't see anything going past. But And when you go back and you see all of these images, it was quite phenomenal.
I was surprised how far it slid.
Yep, I think everybody was. Alex Albon over here, he was in more pain than Zhou.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really innocuous what happened to him. So we were all concerned about Zhou first of all, but turns out Alex was the more injured out of everybody.
And I think I'm right in saying this was his first race that his parents had been to. And I photographed them coming into the track earlier in the day. And for them to see that as their opening experience of Formula One would have been absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
And of course, the television cuts away from all that while it's going on. They go to wide shots because they don't know the outcome. But
that's it. Well, in actual fact, the TV cameras still carried on filming because there was other marshals around on the post, on other posts, and they were watching what we were doing. But obviously it wasn't going as a live feed.
Oh yeah, because we're always told to document everything. You don't have to put it up.
Yeah.
But if you're live, you've got to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Do you have a debrief afterwards, and do you get health and safety having a chat? Are you okay, sort of thing?
There is that availability through the BMMC, which is the British Motorsport Marshals Club. We do have that opportunity of having some consultation if required. But actually, straight after the race, we literally went back to the post. Everybody said, "Well done, great work," and that was it. We were back to the car park, jumped in our cars to try and get away from the circuit as quick as possible. As a team, we have had the opportunity of meeting up since then. George, as he's showing, he actually arranged for us all to go to the factory. And we did a factory tour just prior to the 2023 Grand Prix, which was a really nice touch. Some of the guys who dealt with George Russell's car, they took a bit of stick in social media.
Why?
Because everybody thought they allowed the car to be taken away. But that decision was out of their hands. That's race control making that decision.
Yeah.
So a few of the guys were a bit miffed because they took a bit of a battering on social media. But unfortunately, you get that on social media these days.
Did Zhou contact you afterwards?
Zhou sent us a thank you message, a video. I wrote and asked if I could get a signature on a photograph. I wrote to the team, and he actually sent back one of his team cards, and he wrote a nice message on there saying, thanks for all your help. So that was a nice touch.
Would you guys have done anything different post-event?
That's the thing that eats you up afterwards. Sometimes, you do lay there thinking, trying to get to sleep at night, and you think, should I have done something different? What else should I have done? Personally, I think I should have, once we'd found out he was okay, I should have perhaps done a little bit more to reassure him that we were there to help him. But my immediate concern was trying to get a doctor to go in and see him because, I'm not medically trained, and I'd need that doctor to go in and say, he is okay to start moving him around and stuff.
So you're talking for a group of people. How many in total were involved in that?
The 12 guys involved would be the guys in the black and orange suits there and in the orange suits. They're the members of the trackside marshal crew.
Yep.
The guys in the blue and white are the medical crew.
Now, some people won't know why the yellow boots are worn. You know.
It's because of the electrics in the car. If they have an accident, then you need some electrics on there. So you need some boots to protect you from the electrics.
What a fascinating insight as to what goes on after a big crash like that one at Silverstone. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and for those unsubscribed, here's your chance to remedy that. And for a whole lot of extra content, plus merchandise at my store, have a look here. Thanks for watching,
and stay passionate.
BMMC.
British Motorsport Marshals Club.
BMMC. What is it? B double MC.